volume-wise, it's sort of one to just move on from?
It certainly was a very light day on the market today, James, but we were in the positive nonetheless. This morning we did open positively off some higher US leads. We in fact saw the S&P 500 over there reaching a record all-time high, breaking through that 1900 level. And then throughout the day we also saw some strong performances across the region in the Asia market, so that was really keeping up our market as well. That energy sector really was the one we were keeping an eye on for a couple of reasons. Oil prices were up overnight. We also saw Sundance Energy selling off their Denver oil and gas assets over in the US for about 125 million Australian dollars. And of course we also saw Oil Search and Santos trading well today. Materials was interesting. In fact, we saw copper up overnight, but iron ore was down around 1.3%, and we also saw nickel and gold down, but we in fact saw the materials sector trading higher. It closed up about 0.6%, and despite that iron ore price falling overnight, we did in fact see a lot of those iron ore miners trading in positive territory today. The telecommunications sector was the one dragging on our market today. It was down about 0.7%, led lower by Telstra, and also that utility sector that was down about 0.3%. And of course we saw last week really the defensives and those high yielding stocks were the ones in focus, so I suspect it was a bit of selling off by investors today.
What are you guys doing? Of course, had a bit of an update in regards to their mobile operations. It's some good rhetoric coming out from the company, but their shares in the end closing down 0.75%.
There were, James. We did see some fairly positive data coming out today. We saw the company reiterate that their mobiles, of course, are very important to their growth, which we know, particularly their prepaid handhelds and their mobile broadband. But they also indicated that they are going to be driving network efficiencies via new technologies, and of course they are creating one of the world's largest Wi-Fi networks, which we did hear the company announce last week. So it was positive news today, but the stock was trading lower, as you mentioned. I think that was for a couple of reasons. Firstly, last week we did see Telstra trading at 9-year highs, so it did get up to about $5.40 on Friday. So I think investors were concerned that it was getting up to some of those probably expensive levels. But secondly, we also know that they are going to be planning this expansion into Asia, and really we will be looking out for more details from the company around this at their full year results in August. But this potentially could have a bit of an impact on that very attractive dividend we know that they offer, around 5.4% fully franked. If they are going to be expanding into Asia, either through organic options or acquisitions, as our CEO David Thodey has mentioned, that potentially could have an impact on that dividend and potentially could reduce that payout ratio that the company currently holds. So could be a bit of a risk there in the short term, and something to potentially be cautious of.
SAI Global leading the gains today, receiving a takeover bid by Pep.
It certainly did, and it finished up about 17% to just above $5. It has received a takeover bid worth about $1.11 billion from Pacific Equity Partners. They have offered a price of around $5.10 to $5.25, and that in fact represents a 23 to 27% premium to their 90-day volume weighted average price, and as well it represents about a 12.1 to 12.4 times forecast enterprise value multiple. So it does in fact look like a very attractive takeover bid that has come through. We also saw the company announce that the CEO will be stepping down, and they also indicated that their financial year 14 guidance would be in line with financial year 13, where in fact we did see net profits down by about 5.1%. But definitely in the short term it has been very positive news for investors today. As I mentioned, the stock price is up about 17%. We are still waiting on the board to review the proposal, so we don't have an outcome yet. If that proposal does fall over, we potentially could see a lot of attention diverted back to changes in the management, the CEO resigning, the financial year 14 guidance. But at the moment all the focus will be on that takeover bid, and we will be waiting to hear more out from the company.